Twin flame separation. Now it's your turn. Use the silence and focus on yourself. Hi everyone, I'm Agi from Reach Your Soul. Today we are going to talk about something that most people fear the most on the twin flame journey. The silence. That silence which so many experience as punishment. I used to feel the same way for a very long time ago. When in truth, it's actually the greatest gift and the most powerful teacher you will ever have. And why? Because silence is what brings you back to yourself. When the outside world disappears and you don't hear the noise anymore, in that moment, when you stop trying to fill the emptiness with the other person, and finally begin to hear the voice of your own soul. You came here to be free and independent. The soul is free by nature, so no attachment, no judgment, no preference, and no expectations can lead us to this freedom, whether it's about others or about ourselves. So what is the Divine Feminine's typical strategy still before twin flame separation? The Divine Feminine often lives for others. She tries to express her love by giving, caring, saving, by completely neglecting herself. She doesn't dare to say what she truly wants. She doesn't dare to choose herself. And when silence comes, she panics, because in the silence, she would have to face her own pain and her unspoken desires. What does she say to herself? If I stopped and listened inwardly, I might realize that I'm not heading in the right direction. And if that's true, I will collapse, because I don't have the strength or faith to build something new. This is the thought the feminine wants to avoid. So she keeps living for others and puts her own life on hold. But the soul won't let you live outside forever. Silence will always return to remind you, now it's your turn. What is the strategy of the Divine Masculine before twin flame separation, or before actually the activation? At first, the Divine Masculine seems like the opposite. He appears focused, successful and driven, but he's also running away from his feelings, only in a different way. He escapes into action, goals, and structure. He builds, works, achieves, and one day he realizes that what he has built isn't a home, it's a fortress. Because he built from effort, not from the soul alignment. His lesson is the same, to slow down, to stop, and to finally hear his inner voice. The third one, the meeting and the push and pull dynamic. When these two energies meet, both feel instantly, he's the one, she's the one, the missing piece. And then begins the energetic dance. The feminine pulls, the masculine runs, and then they switch roles when the energy shifts. Both are afraid of losing the other, when in truth, the real task is to find within themselves the part they keep searching for in the other. And this is where silence enters. Because silence is not a punishment. Silence is the biggest teacher. Silence is what detaches you from dependency and brings you back to your essence. We have to do the thing we fear most, step into the silence. For the feminine, this means becoming visible, following her own path, and creating everything her soul calls her to create. And in this, silence is her greatest ally. The masculine silence is not rejection, it's a sacred space he holds for the feminine. While he runs, works, and experiences other relationships, the feminine has the opportunity to recognize her own patterns, heal her wounds, and grow from princess to queen. So silence is not emptiness, it's space. A space where finally you are at the center, where you can take your focus off the masculine. Because in truth, what he does or doesn't do doesn't change your own desires, your own fears, or the way you want to live your life. He's not here to give you those things. He can't. So you can finally let go. Life will test this silence again and again, sometimes through the masculine, sometimes through other people or situations. And each time the universe asks you, can you still choose yourself now? Can you still listen inwardly instead to go outside and listen to the noise? This silence is not for analyzing the behavior of the masculine, watching what he does, or escaping into other new relationships, soulmate relationships. This silence is for hearing your own soul, for turning inward and creating a life where nothing is missing. It's about living your wholeness, putting yourself on the pedestal of your own life, even if it looks like no one else is following you at the beginning. You stop waiting for external validation, and you keep going even when others don't understand. Because if you still can't do that, there is still some form of people-pleasing and victim role at play. Attraction must come from authenticity, not manipulation or validation seeking. And that's why in my transformational coaching, we always start by rebuilding the 4 main foundations: the self-worth, the self-love, the boundaries, the healthy boundaries, and the joy of life. Without these, you can't stand strong in your own power. And at the same time, we also work on the secondary life areas, as I call them, the ones where your biggest challenges show up now. I've divided these into 8 areas, and after the warm-up phase calls, we start with these, because by working through these mirrors, we can truly restore the core foundations too. And remember, the goal is never the perfection. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to figure out everything in each area. The goal is to reclaim your energy, your power again and again for your own freedom, peace, and harmony. When you reach that point, you will be at peace, even if the masculine never returns, or he only comes back to test you, or he fully comes back. Because from that moment, your focus will always stay on yourself. And that's the goal. Pull back your energy, keep the focus on yourself and on your life. And that is the true purpose of silence, the twin flame separation. To become the one who, even when the noise returns, still lives as if it was the time of silence. Let me give you an example through alcohol addiction. When you are addicted, you can't say no. When you go on a detox, that's your period of silence. You learn how to stay with yourself and let go of this addiction. Then you go back into life. At first, maybe you need to avoid alcohol completely. Keep nothing at home. Don't go to parties where you would be tempted. Later, you can keep a bottle of wine or beer at home for guests and still say no for yourself. And the master level? When you can occasionally have one glass, only when you truly want to, and you can enjoy it and not fall back into addiction. You decide what you are capable of. You decide where your energy leaks and when you need to make a conscious choice for yourself. You have to go through each stage to reach balance. I've gone through all of them myself, moving back and forth between them in different areas of life, feeling disappointed each time I fell back into the loop. But life and the twin flame journey as well are great teachers. Every single day, they offer another chance to start again, to try again, and to choose yourself again. So when the feminine consciously chooses silence, it's no longer pride or ego. It's not about, I will show him, I can be happy without him. No, it's a pure, heartfelt choice. Now I choose myself. Now I focus on me. That's when silence becomes divine support, because everything you once searched for outside now begins to grow within you. The self-worth, the self-love, the healthy boundaries and the joy of life. And from that energy, you naturally awaken the same in others, just through your presence, through your energy, because you are the conscious one and you are the inspiration. Silence doesn't separate, it connects. It connects you back to yourself. And when you feel peace in the silence, that's when you are ready to connect again on a new level, whether it's with your twin flame or simply alone with yourself. Use the silence well. Don't be afraid of it, because in the silence you don't lose someone. Actually, you find yourself. Safe journey, beautiful soul.